All right, welcome back, everybody. We are live. It's been a couple of weeks, but yeah, I've got a couple of whiskeys to try tonight. Hopefully, from friends joining in. Let's get into it. Okay, folks. Thank you for joining. I see there's a few people here. Non-bike riding Dave Vogel saying is in the house. Piper John is in the house. So it's been a minute since I've gone live here. Last week I meant to, but I was sick. And forgive me if I'm coughing a little bit. I know I kind of was last time too. But last week I ended up catching a cold, and I just have not been able to shake it for the most part. It's mostly gone now, but I mean for the most part the cough is sticking around. I think I'm just kind of at that point where, you know how it is after you've been sick and you've been coughing for a week straight, your throat is just wrecked from that, which makes you cough even more for another 2 weeks, and that's where I'm at. So bear with me tonight, folks. But thank you guys all for being here. The chat is filling up. Bourbon School is in the house. R-Dub, welcome. Bike riding Brian Vaughn is in the house. Sugar Kitty is here. Tora Podal. There they be. I knew someone else would start early. All right. I hear hazmat time. Shake that cold, shake that booty, do the hockey because that's... Well, I'm guessing you were going to go on hokey pokey, Sugar Kitty, on that? Yeah, hopefully I have kind of shaken the cold for the most part. It has been the worst thing, dude. This has been one of these ones that, like, I got a cold last Monday, and I was off work, and then Tuesday, it kicked in, like, hardcore. And then Wednesday and Thursday, I was like, oh, okay, that was quick. It was pretty much gone. And then, like, Friday night, it kicked back in full force. I was sick all weekend. And, yeah, it's been miserable. So, anyway, I think I'm on the upside now, but still a little residual left over here. But anyway, good to see you guys in the chat. Jeremiah KC1LDA, new subscriber from South Dakota. Well, welcome, Jeremiah. Good to have you here. Where in South Dakota are you? And are you familiar with Black Fork Farms whiskey? Because that's the only South Dakota brand I know, and it's actually the one that I've had was excellent. I think it was just the one. Or no, actually, I had a few things from them, I think. I can't remember, but I know their cast strength is great. Just south of Watertown. Okay, nice. Good stuff. All right, so let's get into it, folks. Tonight, by the way, the Patreon-only drawing, I still will. I know it's like mid-month, and this is my first live stream. I still will get the 2 Patreon drawings in if they don't ask about a certain California town. I mean, that was more a Greg thing, though, you know, which I would say, you know, the channel has definitely slipped since Greg left. But I suppose I could ask, you know, Jeremiah, are you from Sacramento? He's a new subscriber, so he won't get that reference. But please hold 1 second. Let me check something on my audio real quick. Okay. I just want to check and see if my background music is too loud. About 30 minutes from you. Okay, yeah. Black Fork Farms is good. I think I just had the cask strength, if I remember correctly. Brian, or did you send me a bunch of those? It's getting to the point that the reviews are all starting to run together. But so for the Patreon drawing, I just filmed a review today. I've got 3 bottles of Elijah Craig here, and each one of these has a barrel finishing spiral added to it. And so I've got an American Oak Char Level 3, a French Oak, and an Amburana. And so this was today's video that I filmed, and it's going to be out probably on Monday, I would think. So anyway, the Patreon only, or if you throw in a $5 super chat, you can get added to the wheel. That's going to be the drawing for this. It's going to be 2-ounce samples of each one of these. And this was an interesting video to do. It was really cool. I put the aging spirals in there. Left them for 2 weeks. Again, it's an American charred oak level 3, French oak, toasted French oak, and Amburana. And so it's kind of cool to see how the take 3 identical whiskeys and then add a finishing stave to them and see what that does. So let's see here in the chat. Peter White is here. Excuse me, guys. I'm sorry if I'm coughing through this one. I'll try to mute the mic when I really go into a coughing fit. Henry P is really good. I'd like to try their Pape J, but it's nearly $200 per bottle. That's the thing about craft distilleries. I mean, I get that their prices are going to be elevated because it's tough to put out the product when you don't have like the massive production. But yeah, they do tend to get expensive. So anyway, Mike Meyer is here. What's going on, Mike? Oh, you know what? I need to, before I forget, I have to add Mike Meyer to the drawing. Let me see here. Sorry. Getting off to a great start here. Okay. Couple new Patreon supporters, so we got to make sure that they're added to the list. If you want to check out the Patreon, Jim, I don't know if it's Domier or Meyer, also new Patreon supporter from Andover. Okay. There's a decent chance I've been to your house, Jim. Working over in the Andover area for a couple years there. Let's see, have you ever thought about throwing that chunk of wood Bad Axe at you for finishing a whiskey? I mean, he's talked about doing it before. So he's talked about taking like chips from the axe hole and putting that into a bottle. So I will leave that to Bobby to be the pioneer of that. I would feel like I'm, stepping on Bobby's toes if I were to do that first. So I'll leave that up to him since he's mentioned it before. But if he does it, I will certainly follow suit and give it a shot. Anyway, yeah, so the Patreon drawing tonight, 2-ounce samples of this. If you want to check out the Patreon, you can do that. With Bad Axe wood, you have to make sure you filter it afterwards, just a bit splintered. That might be true. Some of you that watch this channel regularly know this, but I'll show this up just for bragging rights because of everything I have on my bar, this is my most brag-worthy thing. That's the original, the first ever piece of Bobby's Table ever sent out to anyone. Bam, right there. That's OG Bad Axe Bourbon swag. So that's cool. That's like my favorite little trinket that I have on the bar back here. Just because it was the original. It's the first one ever. Eventually I'll put that in a glass case and send it off to the Smithsonian. But for now, I'll leave that in my will to go to the Smithsonian. Supposed to be a joke, but putting a wood spire in the bottle, not about... Okay, am I back here? Let me see. I don't know if my internet dropped out for a second there, but I think I cut out. Okay, it looks like I'm back. And just in time, by the way. Special guest. Very thrilled to have. Please welcome. Where's my applause button here? Let's see. There we go. From Baker Drinks, Troy Baker in the house. What's going on, brother?
How's it going?
It's going great. How are you?
I'm good. I thought I had replied to your text earlier when you sent it, and I didn't send. And then I just went to get the link, and I was like, oh, crap, I never sent it. So I just sent it.
That's all right. I'm glad to have you here. I'm going to boost your mic just a little bit.
Okay.
Which, this is my first time ever doing that. So I've never done that from my end.
Oh, yeah. Test, test, test.
Yeah, I think we're good. Hold on one second. Okay, good deal. So what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm good. I just had a day off. We've been working on this re-siding the house project, and I got a couple hours in on that. Laura's working, so
Are you re-siding the house yourself?
yes, and it sucks.
Oh God, that sounds just awful.
Yeah,
you know, that's one of those
don't
things.
recommend.
No, I think there are certain excuse me, I don't know if you heard, but I'm getting over a cold here, so I'm a little little coffee tonight. But there's certain things like I've gotten to the point now where you know, there's certain projects I'm happy to do on my own, and then certain ones where it's just like, you know, sometimes you just got to throw the expense at it and just eat the money. Silly Yorkie whiskey for me. That's a new one in the chat. Welcome. Background music is a bit high. Okay, that's what I thought. I was looking at that before too. I'm just all over the board here. Let's drop that down a little bit. So I actually had, you know, getting to a certain age, you get to a point like it used to be with household projects. You would, you know, call your buddies up and it's like, hey, I'll buy the pizza and the beer and we'll knock this out. Like, you know, if you're moving or, you know, whatever the project is. And now it's at the point where it's like, well, all my friends have back problems too. You know, or a lot of them have, you know, kids that are younger and they've got this, and that. You almost get to that point where, you know, you can't really call your friends and expect them to just show up and do the project and then get drunk with you afterwards.
Yeah.
You know, you almost have to start calling your friends' kids to come over and do the heavy lifting. So,
Yeah. Fortunately, I've had my youngest son. He's 26 now. He's been coming over and helping me here and there, but I've mostly been doing it alone.
well, that's the perfect age to get, you know, they're still young and spry and strong, and again, don't have the lower back problems.
Yeah.
I did this project. So last summer, I was doing a landscaping thing around my entire house, like from the front of the house all the way around the perimeter, around the patio in the back, and all the way back around the front, and like landscaping. So I laid down a border and plastic. Bulged a disc in my back in the middle of doing that, and man, I got to tell you what, that is a game changer. Bulging. I don't know if you've ever had that before. And then it was, it's terrible. And then it was pushing on my sciatic nerve. So I had sciatica.
Wow.
And so all summer, I mean, literally all summer, every time I stood up to walk, I was like waddling for the first like 15 steps. And I was like, all right, I'm not doing that again. So this year I finished off putting down the border because I had to just leave it for the summer because I couldn't work on it. And then I was going to put the rocks down myself, you know? And this is like probably 160 feet. No, closer to 200 feet worth of, by 4 feet worth of rock garden. And I was like, well, I'll just rent one of those, you know, walk behind skid loaders and I'll have them dump a bunch of rock in my driveway. And then I started looking at it and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to pay to have this done. And I paid the money to have it done, and it took 4 guys with skid loaders a half a day to do it. So if I had tried this myself, it would have been, you know, 4 solid days of working. And I can tell you what, I don't regret spending a dime on that because I went to work one day, and when I came home, it was all done.
Nice.
Haven't thought about the money since. Just one of those things you got to do, you know? Mm-hmm. So I've been meaning to ask you because it's been a little while since we talked, and I haven't looked for a while. But one of the things I love about you and Laura's channel is I love your shorts that you guys put up because you guys have some hilarious shorts. And the thing about when you put shorts up, when you see them anyway in your feed, it's kind of like it doesn't show the date, like when they were posted, and sometimes it'll just put in my feed a random one from, you know, months ago, or it'll put your latest one up. It's just kind of a crapshoot as to which one I'm seeing. Mm-hmm. So I went to go look at one of your shorts that I wanted to see again. I can't remember. I think it was maybe the one where you did. This is hilarious. I literally had me laughing out loud where you were blindfolded and then you were tasting stuff. And then at the end, You like pissed in the glass. It was so funny, dude. So I went to go watch that one again. So I went to your actual shorts page, and I had to do a quadruple take. And you probably know what I'm talking about. Your short where you did the calling the neighbors for date. You guys probably had to do a quadruple take.
Yeah.
When you saw that, because what is the view count on that short as of right now? Do you know?
Yeah, let me look real quick for you.
Because this is unbelievable.
It's well over 2 million.
Over 2 million views on that one short. That's amazing.
We got another one going
just-
right now that's approaching 500,000.
Really? Good
Yeah.
Lord.
It's the most random stuff, right? They're like
Yeah, it's totally random.
10-second long video, and for some reason YouTube loved it. You got 1,300 subscribers from that 2 million.
Good Lord. And like what time frame was that? Like a couple weeks that you got that, or like a week, or?
So it did pretty good for about 2-3 weeks, getting like maybe 1,000 views a day. And then all of a sudden it just took off, and it was getting like 15,000 views an hour for probably a solid month. It still
That's
gets
just
it
crazy.
still gets a couple hundred views a day.
That's
this day.
just wild.
Yeah.
It's so weird how the algorithm works. We have another special guest joining in. This is awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, may we have the attention of the class. From Bourbon School, Brian is in the house.
What's up, fellas?
What's happening? How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing well. We're winding down. I got 1 week of school left, so pretty happy guy.
Yeah, no kidding. You're about getting to the point where you're off for the summer. Do you do like a side hustle in the summer, Brian, or do you just enjoy it?
Nope. You know what? We neither one of us get a job in the summer. Like those 8 to 10 weeks are for relaxing and recharging,
Yeah.
and so we are. Lucky that we don't do that. I watched my dad. He was a teacher, and I watched him every summer go roof houses and side houses like you're talking about, Troy. Like my uncle was a contractor, so he went and worked with my uncle all summer long and came home exhausted, and then worked till last week August, and then went back to school. And I was like, man, there's no way that I want to do that. So I mean, maybe it makes me sound like a softie, but I'm glad that I'm not out there doing that all summer.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little different not being a job. I'm just kind of doing like a couple hours here and there.
Yeah.
So I'm not destroying my body, but it still sucks. I mean, it's not anything that's in my skill set. I'm kind of learning as I go. A lot of trial and error, watching a lot of YouTube videos. I think so far it's turning out pretty good. I've got two sides of the house are sided, but they're not, the caulking's not done or anything like that. So
If
I've still
there
got
is-
2 full sides to go.
Nice.
If there's one thing I hate, it's anything to do with caulking. I cannot do it. To the point that I watch YouTube videos of people doing it, and I actually get livid watching them, because they're just like, yeah, you just put it here and then you lick your finger and it's done. It's like, it never looks like that.
Never.
Ever. It's never ever. It's just a mess. It's all over me. It's terrible. I hate it.
And no
So,
matter what
silly
tools
Yorkie
you buy
whiskey
to make
for
that
me.
perfect line, it never looks that way.
No, and I've done that before. I've bought the tools for it and everything. It's just a globular mess. So God bless our teachers. I'm so appreciative of teachers, but that is a job I could never do. I don't have the patience. I could not agree with you more on that.
Thank you. Appreciate
OG
it.
Brick is here. Hanging AZ is here. Brian, I don't know if you heard, but Troy and I were just talking about algorithm stuff, and they had this one short that just took off, and it's over 2 million views on it.
Yeah, the calling your neighbors, rubbing the bottles
Yeah.
together.
Yes. Day
Freaking
drinking.
amazing.
So, it was funny because every summer I put up because one of the things that I always notice in it kind of tells you, here are the keywords that get you traction on your views or whatever. And so every summer when I open up the Brown Tree, for those that don't know, that's the bar out in the garage. The summertime bar in Minnesota in the garage is very important. So I always do a little video like, the Brown Tree's open for the season. And so when I put up my video, because it always says like garage bar is something that gets a lot of hits. And I don't include that on every video, but when I do put, that video up, I put, Garage Bar, and it usually gets a little boost. And so after seeing your video, I put day drinking in the title just to see. Didn't do shit for me. So I don't know, man. It was like, dude, bakers are killing it with this day drinking thing. It's like, I love day drinking. I'll put this in my video, and yeah, it didn't do a damn thing for me.
Well, the funny thing about that short is if you read it, I was typing and I didn't proofread it, and the sentence is all jacked up. And I think the people commenting on that sentence being jacked up is what kept it going.
Oh,
because it got like 5,000 comments.
Oh my God!
Wow, that's just wild.
It's so random. Like, what the hell? Like, go rub some bottles together in your backyard. Boom! I love it.
Yeah,
You should
it's
remake
just
it.
crazy.
This YouTube. YouTube is a fickle mistress, man.
Yeah, we should all try and doing the exact same thing, like, responding to Troy and Laura day drinking requests, and then misspell the sentence. You know what? We should totally do that, and then just see what happens.
Test it out.
I think we
And try
should.
to do the exact same, like however your sentence was jacked up. Try to do the exact same thing, and then
I
just
think
see
it
what
said,
happens with it.
Calling the neighbors for day some drinking.
Okay, day some drinking. I like it. That's
And then
that's
there were a lot of
hilarious.
comments like, I think he's already drunk, or he already started, or like I said, the more people commented, the longer it seemed to stay in the algorithm.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
any
for
engagement
sure.
is good engagement.
Hanging AZ says, day drinking in the summer sucks. You leave the bar and almost die like a vampire. That's, you know what, Hanging AZ, though, here's the thing. I just don't day drink in bars anymore, Just out in the garage or out in the patio. So I'm out in the, in the sunlight the whole time. So, I mean, in the shade, of course, being a ginger, but we need some drunk, please. Is Sugar Kitty misspelling stuff to get in the algorithm as well?
I believe he's trying to boost this live stream.
Oh, you know what? I want to show you guys something. Let me, because I actually made sure to have this available in case either or both of the bakers showed up. But with you here, Brian, this is appropriate too. So, Canadian Chris is here. What's happening? Remember the scene, in Lord of the Rings when they light fires to signal for help? Maybe you should clang bottles to say, yeah, that's a good idea, actually.
Not bad.
And so here's the thing. If I do the response, answering Troy's call to do day some drinking, and then that one gets boosted up huge in the thing, we'll just all keep going back and forth communicating through our shorts. And then,
I like it.
next thing
you
you know.
you could even clip like a portion of my video at the start of
Yeah.
yours so they know you're responding.
And then you're responding. Yes, absolutely.
That's a great idea. I'm going to totally do that.
We-
Eric
you know what?
Ellis,
We
howdy,
should
guys.
each do something different. Like, Ben, you should clang them together, and I'll blow in them like hoo hoo, and like we'll all
That's-
have a different way of communicating with each other.
Yes, I love it.
Did you
That's
see
hilarious.
Did you see the short we did with the bird calls?
No,
I think I saw that one, yeah.
Because that would be a good reply too.
I love it. Okay, so I want to show you this video because I came across this in my my screen recordings on my phone. So this is from St. Patrick's Day 2023 on a live stream. And so I had to edit 2 clips together just to cut the middle jargon out. But check this out. First of all, let me know if this starts to echo, because I have had problems with that in the past when I've tried to share video clips. But here's this. Question. So, We good? we recently got to know Bourbon School because I can't remember how we found their channel or if they found us or commented, or I can't remember how that worked. But it's awesome whenever you discover a new channel that you like. Do any of you have any new channels that you're watching that are maybe I mean, it doesn't matter how big they are, but the bigger they are, the more likely people will know them. Like, do you have any like that maybe other people don't know about yet, or drop them in the comments. Brian, I literally was just gonna say I was just watching Baker Drinks today. She's got a great channel. I really like her. So go subscribe to Baker Drinks.
I have not seen that one.
Yeah, she does a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then Mediocre Whiskey Review.
Jill from Mediocre
Yep,
Whiskey
she does a
Reviews.
good job.
She's just starting out, but doing a great job.
Mm-hmm.
What's the guy? Bourbon starts with D.
Oh, Bourbon Drop?
Drop.
Oh, yeah.
Is it Drop?
Yeah, Myron over at
Myron.
Bourbon Drop.
Yeah,
We've
yeah.
talked about him before. Look at that, back from 2023 when we had, Brian, you and I had both just discovered Laura when it was just Laura over on Baker Drinks, and then we had just discovered Myron too. So I came across that. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Yep. I loved, I feel like we both kind of started very close to each other as far as when we started. And I absolutely loved watching her videos. I was just like, you're so like, she was so, even though she was new at it. I mean, we all kind of look foolish compared to how we are. We're a little easier now, but she was just so like easygoing and very matter of fact. And like, you could just tell she was very honest. And so I loved her channel. Like you can go back, like in some of those early videos, I'm like commenting in all of them. I absolutely loved your guys' channel when it first started. Yeah. I mean, I still do.
And then that dude joined and ruined it.
What's that?
Said, and then that dude joined and ruined it.
Yeah.
Starts clanking bottles together in the backyard like a weirdo.
Like some caveman.
But I remember that was funny because I had just found the channel too, and before I could even say it, Brian commented, and that's why I was like, yeah, that's that. I was just watching that too. Let's see, Christian Mojica. There's this Bruzel guy I've seen a couple of times. Yeah, I think I've heard of that guy before. Oh, by the way, that's a great segue into something I actually did want to talk about tonight. So thank you for that. And so I was watching something today. It was like something to do with Fred Minnick was on it or whatever. And I may be in the minority on this, as far as people that I know or whatever, but I don't get like all the shit that people give Fred Minnick and all the hate that gets thrown his way. I don't understand it. And I guess like
I get it.
It seems to me like, so what is, so you get it. So why do people hate on him the way that they do? What's up, Frank?
There's a couple things that I think about him. I think he's super pretentious and sometimes full of shit. And I also think, and like, this is all me watching, and like, I don't have any inside information. Nobody's told me this stuff. Like, this is all my opinion. So I could be 100% wrong, but he also seems to be very much in like, not bought and paid for, but I think he favors certain things over others because of what he gets out of it. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan. I like a lot of the big channels. This is not like a little channel, like shaking his fist at you damn big channels. I just think he's full of shit.
And that's part of why I wanted to talk about it, is because I think some of that also goes towards just big channels in general. People just, it's like as soon as somebody gets to a certain point, everybody starts hating on them for no good reason. Sometimes good reason, maybe. But like, I think like with Fred Minnick, the way I look at it, like I haven't seen him, like I've watched a lot of his stuff, and I've listened to his audiobook, Bourbon Curious, which was fantastic. He's just I like his backstory. He was a Iraq War veteran, and coming back and like getting into whiskey and tasting whiskey was something that kind of helped him like overcome his PTSD, which I thought was really kind of a cool story that he shared about it.
For sure.
But I feel like he's kind of one of those guys where like no matter what he does, he's going to get shit on, because if he picks the allocated bourbon in a blind to be the best of the year, oh, he's just picking the allocated because it's the big company. But then he picks Smoke Eye Hill over George T. Stagg, and everybody shits on him for that.
Yeah.
How could Smoke Eye Hill ever be better than George T. Stagg? He must be X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, but they
And
all
it's like-
ran
it's
out and
just-
bought it.
Yeah.
And yes,
Shit.
and they all ran out and bought it.
3 batches
And so
deep
it's
now,
just
right?
like, I feel like it's just like he's in a position where it's like, you know, he no matter what he does, if he picks the little guy, they're gonna say he's full of shit because there's no way this craft distillery could ever be that good. If he picks the big guy, it's because he's bought and paid for. And where is the evidence that he's bought and paid for? Now, I will say this: the Total Wine, I don't know what the rules and stuff were for that. I think Total Wine was getting very liberal, putting Fred Minnick picks above only their
Yeah.
Spirits Direct stuff. So that's the only thing I can think of that I would say, you know, I don't really think Fred Minnick loves these whiskeys. I think he could review them and be fair and say, hey, they've got flavors of this, this, and that, and, you know, whatever, here's where they belong. But I doubt he came along and said, yes, you know,
Yeah, I mean, 2 years
I
ago,
endorse
he
these
shit all
whiskeys.
over William LaRue Weller. So, I mean, there's a lot of big name stuff that he does trash.
yeah. And
I
it's
used
like-
to have a similar opinion of him, of Brian. I thought that he was, you know, you see him with the ascot and he's all sitting there behind the camera looking smug and whatnot. And I think that was just a perception I had, probably because of that ascot. I've started listening to, well, I haven't just started, but I've been listening for about the past couple of years, the Pursuit United podcast, the Bourbon Roundtable, and Fred is a regular on there.
Yes.
And just hearing him talk, you know, not reviewing anything, just giving opinions and talking in general about bourbon industry, he's grown on me quite a bit through that podcast.
Okay.
He seems like a pretty real, down-to-earth guy. He goes out and rubs
Yeah, that's
elbows
what
with
I've always
celebrities
gathered.
and all that kind of stuff, and he does his seminars and everything. I think he's doing a lot to advocate for the bourbon and whiskey world that other channels are not doing. So
So do you
I
think he's-
applaud the guy.
Do you think he's got a persona on his own channel that maybe he doesn't have on that podcast?
I just think that he kind of rubbed people the wrong way by showing up with an ascot and talking about his, you know, his ascot awards and all this other
Yeah.
stuff that he does. But I don't know.
But I think some of that is also kind of like inside joke with people that are viewers of his channel. Like the Ascot Awards, I don't think that that's probably him trying to be hoity-toity. It's probably him, you know, kind of taking the piss out of himself a little bit.
Absolutely. But you
You
know,
know,
like
and
you can single-handedly blame him for the Henry McKenna 10-year
yes,
going from a $30 bottle to unobtainable, and now you finally get it again, but it's $60. You know, he
Yep.
named that as the world's best whiskey at the San Francisco.
but that was
Spirit
also
Awards.
in a blind, right?
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, it's like, okay, I'm a whiskey reviewer and I named this the best. Sorry. Like, everybody gets mad at him for it. It's like, I'm just
Yeah.
doing my job. Like, I feel like he's kind of like the Nickelback of whiskey reviewers, where everybody just hates on him, and there's like, really, why? Like, who?
That's
Why?
like a great analogy, actually.
Eric Ellis says, Ben, it's like when bands gain traction in the music world and start making money, everybody shits on them for being successful. You don't work that hard to say no thanks to a record deal. Eric, that is exactly the point I was going to make. I was going to say it's just like when when a band gets big, automatically they're sellouts. Automatically. You know, there's nothing fans of a band hate more than when their favorite band gets popular with people they don't like, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that necessarily happened with, like, you know, Fred Minnick's fans or whatever, but I feel like he was kind of the biggest name in whiskey because he has, like, he's not the biggest channel. There's plenty of independent channels out there that are way bigger than his,
Yeah.
but he has the biggest, you know, outside of YouTube. You know, he is kind of the bourbon guy, like the quintessential bourbon guy. So I think, you know, he's going to take shots, but I just feel like it's not justified. You know,
I just,
don't.
for me, I just find him, and I will say, I don't watch them on the regular. I find it pretentious, and it's more than like there's plenty of big channels out there that I love. Like I like watching Bruzel, I like watching Jason C, I like Kurt and Trent. Like I like plenty of big channels. His is one that it doesn't connect with me. It doesn't click for me. So I'm just
No, and that's totally fine. Yeah, and it's not like a, I mean, as anyone's opinion has certain channels they like and don't like. I totally get that. It seems like Fred Minnick is just the whipping post for, anyone
He's
who's
a
in the
lightning
bourbon
rod,
community.
sure.
It's almost like, like a lightning rod. They look at him like, since he's kind of the main guy, everybody has to just attack him. And I don't know. That's always that's always been a little odd to me. Like, and again, if you genuinely don't like his channel or whatever, that's totally, I get that. It seems just like there's a lot of that, like, and it seems like there is a lot of that sometimes with bigger channels too, where like smaller channels just like to, if they've got X amount of subscribers, automatically they must be frauds. Like I've heard other channels say that, none of us or like our friends or whatever, but I've heard that expressed on other channels and like, where it's like, well, I'm glad these bigger channels are starting to lose viewership and this and that. It's like, well, why do you care? Like, if people want to watch your channel, they're going to watch it, whether they're also watching Bruzel or not.
Right.
Like their success doesn't take away from yours. If anything else, I mean, I guess having a lot of channels dilutes the market. And I think we all kind of know that, but if anything else, I mean, it's just, it raises Whiskey Tube up to a certain point, where I don't know, I'm kind of like a rising tide lifts all boats sort of guy, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I find more objectionable, and I'm not going to start calling people out, but so some of these big channels have gotten into labels. Like they have a label that they are either they started themselves or that they're affiliated with, and so if you start your own label and promote it, that I don't find that objectionable at all. If you get hired by a company, if you get hired by somebody, and then suddenly that same year you get hired, one of their bottles ends up on your Whiskeys of the Year list, then stop pretending you're an objective reviewer. Like that happened this past year, and that to me was very much like, oh, like, come on. This is somebody who barely talked about this brand. They got a job with them, and all of a sudden it's on their Whiskey of the Year like list, like that they never had on there before. That one was kind of like, so you're not really objective anymore. And I get it. If you work for the label, of course you're going to promote it and talk about all that. But that was like, that just kind of made me look a little sideways at it without naming who we're talking about.
Was it in a blind or?
Nope. It was their like end of year. Here are my best whiskeys this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think that if you're if
feel
you
like
if
we would
you
all
work
do
for the
that,
company,
Ryan.
you're
You know what? I might do it, but I'm also going to not say, like, I don't know. I probably if I worked for like if Jim Beam called me tomorrow and said, "Hey, we've got a job for you," then I'm not doing YouTube anymore because all I'm going to be expected to do is pimp Jim Beam bourbon. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would not be able to consider myself objective anymore.
Yeah, I feel like I know who you're talking about, and I feel like that person like slowed way down on YouTube after that job.
Yes.
So I feel like if you were working for Beam and you took a step back from putting out regular content, you would still pimp Jim Beam whenever you had a chance, because it's self-serving, right? The more Jim Beam makes, the more you're going to make, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's why it's hard to 100% damn them, but I feel like now your channel should come with a bit of a disclaimer, maybe.
And Kraken, you're 100% correct there. We have trash pallets. We don't know what we're talking about.
Oh, mine's terrible. I am the third best palette on our channel, for sure.
Sorry about the coughing again. Do you guys think so? I would say if I were in a position where I would get hired by a distillery to do any sort of a job, whether it's, even working at the distillery doing tours or, or tastings or something like that.
Sure.
I would maybe just at that point stop reviewing the products from that distillery. I think that, if I got hired by Jim Beam, I would say, okay, well, I guess maybe not stop talking about the products, but stop I certainly wouldn't do them in comparison videos, and I wouldn't include them in best of lists, and I wouldn't include them in things like that. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, hey, I work for this distillery and I stand by this product, and coming out and talking about it and reviewing it honestly, because then people can make their own decision. But I think that, I think there would be some, you've got to maybe pull back on what you include that product in, maybe, I guess.
Yeah, that's kind of my point. I think I agree with that.
Whiskey Tube is losing steam. Yeah, and that is that. Are we talking about that on the Whiskey 6 tomorrow?
Yeah, you guys. So I won't be there, but yeah, you guys are talking about. I mean, we've had a few channels in the last month shut down. A few really big channels.
Yeah.
And I think across the board, it's
Crushing a beer.
It's saturated. Like there's a lot of. I was talking about it the other day. I don't even know who I was talking about it with. I think I posted it somewhere on maybe on Bourbon Real Talks Facebook page or something. We were talking about this, and it's like, oh no, it was on the Bourbon Junkies. You had pointed out.
Yeah, it was the one I
post on
sent
the
you.
Bourbon Junkies. And I had pointed out like there's so many, and Bourbon Jerk chimed in too. Like there's so many like 2,000 to 4,000 subscriber channels out there, and like it's so saturated. Like I find new ones every day that I've never heard of, and I've done this for 3 years. Like it's crazy how many channels are out there, and we're all competing for eyeballs, and it's a lot. I mean, there's a ton of channels out there.
Yeah.
What's crazy to me is when I find a new channel, like a new live stream that I've never heard of the channel before, I start watching them and seeing the people in their audience, and it's like I don't know any of these people, and I thought, boy, we have like a pretty good core of channels that we all associate with on the regular, and we share a lot of the same subscribers and viewers and whatnot. And to see a completely different bubble and know that those people are out there, it's kind of weird. It's cool.
And
yeah, it is interesting. Like the overlap, like because you say like I'll go to either one of I know Brian, you guys don't go live quite as often, but when you do, like I'll see a lot of the same people. Like I'll see non-bike riding Dave Vogelsang and Sugar Kitty and Hangin', and all these people that are, regularly in my live streams. I'll see them in your audience. And Troy, when you and Laura go, you guys are killing it with the live streams on Saturday nights. You guys get a big audience on Saturday nights. And I see a lot of the same people, but new people. But yeah, like you said, I've gone to other channels that are about the same size as, ours collectively on average. And it's like a whole new audience. And it's like, oh, well, maybe we need to, cross-pollinate a little bit more, which I know you and Laura do a ton of. I mean, you guys talk to everybody.
Yeah, I mean, we try to. That's kind of what we got into this for, is to, not go to the bar and hang out and spend a bunch of money and find a ride home. But we hang out here, and you all are our friends. So we're hanging out with our friends on Saturday night, doing the same thing we would be doing if we were in town. So the more people we meet, just the more people we get to hang out with. So that's kind of where we're coming from.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. When Greg and I first started doing live streams, we were trying to pick which day to do this on. And at first, I was kind of like, well, two reasons why we didn't choose to go on weekends. The most important thing is, Greg and me both at the time and me now, the difference between, you and Laura is like you guys are husband and wife, but this is something you do together. This isn't something my wife and I do together. So if I were to take up every Saturday night doing this, that's Saturday nights that we're not going out and doing something or not spending time hanging out with friends or whatever. Right. So it'd be a little different if she was part of the channel. But the other thing, like at first I kind of thought, I was like, well, it's Saturday, Friday, is anybody going to watch on a Friday or Saturday night? And then in hindsight, thinking about it, it's like, well, yeah, because everybody's probably around my age or older or maybe slightly younger, but at that point of not wanting to go out and, wanting to kick it at home and kind of just hang out. So, I mean, it really is. I mean, I think our audience is kind of perfect for that Saturday night, stay home and just chill out and hang out in the chat. And so I think you guys really kind of nailed that.
Yeah,
with the live
they
streaming.
definitely planted their flag in Saturday nights very early, and now it's like that's your night.
There's just not a lot of other channels that go live on Saturday, so
Yeah.
I think we benefit
Yeah.
from that.
Well, and that's what
that we're putting out great stuff. I think we just don't have a lot of competition.
You know what?
I-
I think you are. I think you guys are very good, and I've said this to Brian Fisher on Buffalo Bourbon Enthusiasts too, because I think both of you do this way better than. Well, I'll just speak for us than we do. Is I think you guys are very, very good at building a community, and Brian and Deb are starting to do that as well. And it is just something, and some of it is because of time, and some of it is just because I don't think of these ideas, but I think you guys are very good at like building and fostering your community, which is super important because then that community wants to tune in every Saturday night. I think that's like the secret sauce of this, and it's something you guys do very well.
Yeah, I would agree because I can tell from the standpoint of somebody who does a channel and does very, very half-assed live streams on a very, non-consistent schedule. I try to go every other Wednesday, but, and I want to have more guests on, but the problem with me is I don't plan ahead for shit. So it's like, having guests on, it's like, oh, it'll come into, it's like Monday and it's like, oh shit, I forgot to ask anybody to be on the channel. But coming from somebody who also does this, Troy, I can see the amount of work you guys put into that. With all your giveaways, when you're making a new intro for every live stream, or at least changing it where it includes, your guests on the screen and stuff like that. I mean, that stuff takes effort and time. And, I think you guys are killing it. You guys are doing a great job. And you can tell that you're putting the work in. Toropoto's the sticker game is.
Yep.
I have a bunch of stickers I've got from you guys and other channels, and I'm kind of collecting them up, and I want to make like a poster board.
Who would have
stickers
thought
all over it.
that grown adults would be giddy about getting new stickers? It just blows my mind. It's the whole reason we kept it going. We started out, we were going to do the one, this guy right here, the original trash pallet guy.
Yeah.
It started with that, and people loved it so much, and now we just collect everybody's stickers. We put our own on here. It's like a thing, Got to have new stickers
and
all the
that's-
time.
My
That's
trash
the thing,
pallet. Sorry, my original trash pallet sticker is on my infinity bottle. That I stuck it right on my infinity bottle.
I have, so the original trash palette sticker, well, I've got the official taster, and then I got Bourbon School right here, which, by the way, Brian, I almost threw these away on accident because I didn't see them in the packaging when you sent the samples with these. I got the samples out, and I was just taking apart the stuff to get rid of the box or whatever. Or no, I kept the box, but I was taking the stuff out of it, and then the stickers fell out. I totally didn't see them, so I almost lost them. But
Well, and right
I got
after we made those stickers, my daughter redesigned our logo. So I'm like unloading those.
We got this one here. I don't know if you
Old
can see
school.
that.
With the 1 foot
Yeah.
cock.
Yeah, it said honk if you love cock, and it was from the 1
Yeah.
foot cock, and we just put Bourbon School over it. So honk if you love Bourbon School.
I love it. And then my favorite thing, of course, is Greg sent you guys coasters. He sent all you guys
Yes.
coasters. But he sent you the raw material ones. Those were supposed to be stained and lacquered. And I
Yeah,
had
they're
like a
not
whole
finished.
box of them. Yeah, I had a whole box of them that were stained and lacquered, and like they were like a kind of a rosewood color, and they had like a little protective coat of poly on them and little pads on the bottom. And then
Boy,
he
those
sent
would have been nice.
Yeah, he sent out the wrong ones. Here, I've got some of the finished ones here.
I do like them though. You have the tasting wheel on the back. It's awesome.
Yeah, they're not much different, but they look a little bit. You probably can't tell because there's a bright light on it, but
Yeah,
it's
they
kind of
look
like
a
a
little
darker
darker,
wood,
though.
and they've got the tasting
Yep.
wheel on the back. But I was like, why did you send them unfinished raw material ones. I don't know. It's like,
Now,
I still
for,
use
for
those
those.
all
I
the
have
wrong-
one hanging here, but I use the other one.
for those watching at home, Ben, how does one obtain one of those coasters?
You know what? I'm almost all out of them. I was including them before I was doing sample giveaways. I was doing we'd do giveaways once in a while of like a Bourbon Note rocks glass, which I'm all out of. Actually, I have one left, so I should do a thing. We would do like a Bourbon Note rocks glass, and then like a coaster and a sticker. We would do as like giveaways once in a while.
Sugar
And
Kitty
then
got
we
the
had
raw
it-
deal too.
Yep.
For anyone
you,
who
Sugar Kitty.
did Sugar Kitty get a raw? Did Sugar Kitty? Did you really get one in the mail?
Sacramento quality. I love it.
Yeah, exactly. It was so funny because like I said, I had like a whole box of them. I took them outside and I put them. I even made I took a cardboard box and I put toothpicks sticking up that I could set the things on and spray them and then flip them over so the toothpicks would hold them up without smearing the lacquer, and I could spray them on both sides. And then, yeah, we sent all the raw ones out to people. So, but we used to also have a thing where it was like if you were part of a certain tier for a certain amount of time, you know, that was like one of the original, giveaway things. Sugar Kitty says, yes, I got one, and it's splinter bait. Well, send the medical bills my way, Sugar Kitty. But no, this is this is the Trash Palette sticker that I have, Trash Palette Survivor, and that one's actually on the fridge in the bar. So I've got random stuff over here on the bar fridge. Let's see. If you like hunt videos, Ben keeps me from going out and spending money. Well, that's good. I like it. You can live vicariously through my bourbon hunting shorts. That's another thing is the hunt videos. I think that if I remember correctly, Laura was the first one that I saw do a hunt video.
Yeah, she was. I don't know if she was one of the first, or maybe one of the first, but not the first. I don't think.
I don't know. She was the first as far as I knew.
Yeah. Those videos used to get a lot of traction. It's so awkward to go into a place and film shelves. So I got to where I despised it. So we just kind of quit doing it. Now I'll put a short out where not necessarily a hunt, but I'll show like an interesting bottle.
Yep, that's what I do. Bourbon hunting
it's
short.
very similar to you. I mean, I shamelessly stole the idea from you, to be honest.
You know what? I mean, they're so like. I don't even consider anything like stealing ideas because it's like we're there's only so much. Well, Brian, I know there's been a couple of blatant
One blatant
incidences.
I can
Yeah.
let the second one pass. The first one was absolutely blatant.
Yeah,
bourbon
yeah, I
school
know what you're
shorts.
talking about.
Come on.
Yeah. Well, and even the second one was kind of like from the same person was kind of like,
Yeah. Yep.
But no, I mean, like, there's always going to be overlap. But yeah, I would encourage all you guys to do bourbon hunting shorts because those get just as much viewership and traction to the channel as a full bourbon hunting video does,
Yeah.
if not more. And you know, it's not all about just always getting traction, but I just said traction. Did you guys hear that?
You sounded like
That
a
was
Western New Yorker there.
That was a very southern Minnesota.
That was Minnesota.
Oh, okay. Because Western
Thing
New
coming up,
Yorkers are very
traction.
hard on their vowels.
Yeah, traction.
Traction.
But it's not always just about getting, traction to the channel. But at the same time, it's like I do this channel because I do want people to see it. I want people to get value out of it or entertainment out of it or whatever people are getting out of it. That makes me happy that people get that. So, it's easy to say, yeah, I don't really care how many subs I get. But, I mean, I like having more subscribers,
Yeah. Yep.
The more the merrier. I think that's fun hearing from more people. Because to be honest, the more people that like comment back on the videos, that's fun for me. Like that's like getting something back, And so yeah, I mean the bourbon hunting shorts are just a good way to kind of get your foot in the door with some other people that may not know your channel. Value entertainment, huh? Steve Joes. Is southern Minnesota similar to Alabama? I don't know. I don't know much about Alabama. I've only been to the very, very northeastern corner of it. And I literally drove there just to say I'd been to Alabama. I was in Chattanooga.
Never been to Alabama.
But yeah, it's the bourbon hunting shorts are fun because it takes 2 seconds. And the other thing is I upload them directly from my phone. I film it and upload it. And done.
Yeah.
Just go to a store and upload or just film like 3 or 4 different bottles and and it's kind of fun, like you said, Troy, to like showcase an interesting bottle, or it's a good way to get people's opinions. Like, hey, what do you think of this price or whatever? So the feedback on those are really good too.
Yeah. I
Go
did.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, speaking of rocks glasses, because Piper John, he must be talking about having a bourbon note rocks glass. I got my rocks glasses,
Yes.
Troy. They look much more like a raccoon in person.
Oh yeah, that's right. I meant to ask you about that, Troy. Sugar Kitty, Mississippi and Louisiana are my last 2 that I haven't been to. And Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Alabama were my last 3. And that's why when we were in Chattanooga, I drove over just to cross into the border of Alabama to check it off the list. That's interesting. We share Mississippi. Let's see, live music. Is this Troy karaoke day? Tora Podol's wanting the live music back. We will be doing that again. I just talked to Willie and Rob the other day, and Willie and I are getting together on this Friday, to mull over some stuff. So
Nice.
That was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, it was.
that was a blast
I want to see
to
you
do.
play and not just be creeping in the background.
Yeah, on one of these coming up, I will. For the first one especially, I kind of wanted to just like run stuff. Because those guys don't do YouTube, so if like it was kind of up to me to like just make sure everything was working and stuff like that. So yeah, at some point here, I'll probably hop on there with them. What was I going to ask about?
About the rocks glasses?
Oh yeah. So I saw the pictures that you put up. What was the? Well, you can tell me off the air what the company was. But. Like, so you just sent them, did they send you like a thing back saying, hey, here's what your glasses are going to look like?
Yeah,
And then-
so I sent them the artwork, and they send a proof. And you approve the proof, and then they put it on a glass and ship it to you. So I sent them the artwork, they sent back the proof. The proof looked good. And then I get the glass, and I'm like, this just looks like a big smear. You can't tell what it is. And I was talking to the guy who is like the sales contact, and we had ordered glasses from him in the past and had no issue. And he's like, yeah, that looks like crap. Let me talk to the art team in the morning and we'll make it right. Because this was, pretty late in the afternoon, early evening. The next morning, he's like, yeah, I talked to the art team. They said it looks good. I was like, well, it doesn't. And you agreed with me yesterday that it doesn't. I'm stuck with like a case of these things.
A case being how many?
I think it was like 30 glasses. maybe a few more, not less
Like
than
maybe
40.
36, maybe?
Yeah, maybe 36. So he's like, yeah, we can't really do anything about it. Then the artist started like emailing me, and she's like, if you put brown liquid in it and you hold it at the right angle, and I'm like, no, you should be able to identify what this is just by looking at it.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't like make it right. So we basically liquidated them. It was like 2 for 1 with free shipping, and just got rid of them. We kept a set for ourselves. And
Well, yeah, you got to keep one of those for yourself for
Go
sure.
in the Baker's Drinks Museum someday.
yeah.
Yeah.
So since then, Top Dog, he reached out to us, and he's made us some rocks glasses that I think are supposed to be arriving on Friday, and those will probably be like a patron exclusive thing. And then finally, this same company that kind of hosed us on the rocks glasses reached out, and they worked with us on some new artwork and a different glass. It's the Kentucky Bourbon Trail glass.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah.
That was on my short list for the last ones we got. That's a nice looking glass.
So they sent us artwork, and I was like, yeah, I really like this. And then they put it, 2 different versions of it on the Kentucky Bourbon Trail glass and sent it to us so I could see what it would look like before we move forward. And then they
That's how
gave
they
us
got you last time.
yeah. and then they gave us a little bit of a deal on the glasses. So I actually just got those in. We have them in our possession, and I'm trying to figure out what we're gonna do with those since we just moved all those rocks glasses. I don't want to like ask people to buy another set of glasses right away.
Sure.
So those will be.
I kind of want to do some either rocks glasses or Glens, but I don't know how my new logo. It's a little more complicated than the last one.
Intricate, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that there's if you go on Amazon, you can actually order like rocks glasses where it's actually like printed on there in color.
Oh yeah.
So that might actually be kind of cool. Or I could make a black and white version, but I don't know for like etching. I might have to go with the old school logo, which I love the old school logo too.
Yeah.
You should reach out to Top Dog.
Okay.
Yeah. And the thing with getting the screen printed ones, I mean, it looks great, but you got to tell everybody not to put them in the dishwasher because that'll come off in like 2 washes. But
Yeah, there's that.
I like the actual glasses that you guys ordered. I like that design on the bottom, Troy. Like it looks like
they're
it catches
great rocks
light.
glasses.
Really nice design.
You know what? I have the rocks glasses that Troy, do you have a rocks glass too from us?
No,
I thought we had sent one.
we just got the coasters.
Okay. And Brian, you have one?
I just have coasters.
Oh, okay. So the rocks glasses that we have are these ones that so Greg actually he used a Cricut to do like a cutout of the logo.
Okay.
And then he would just put that on the glass, and then you would like put this like paste on there, and it etches into the glass. It like eats away at the glass, and it creates an etching. So we were actually making them homemade. But the rocks glasses that I got, I absolutely love. They're kind of a bigger rocks glass, and they have this big, thick, heavy bottom to them.
Yeah, I like that.
Literally $1 a piece at the dollar store in town
Wow.
for these glasses. And then we were making the etching ourselves. But then it's so funny too. Like if we tried to sell them, it cost me $12 to ship them. So it's like, there's no making a profit off of these things.
No.
By the time you pay for the materials, because like the materials, it costs us $2 to make the glass, but then it costs us exactly what because I'm not going to charge $25 for a freaking rock glass.
Right.
But by the time you charge even the amount that's appropriate for a rocks glass, you're not making anything off of them,
No.
Which is not even really the point, but it's just funny how that works. By the time you get into shipping, it just kills you.
Yeah.
Do you use Pirate Ship?
No, but I've heard about that. Did you tell me about that, Brian? Pirate Ship?
Yeah, I use it all the time. It's great.
Okay.
Definitely worth
Yeah,
it. It's a little discounted, and it's just so easy. You just print everything at home. I've got like a kitchen scale. I throw the stuff on the kitchen scale.
I do the same thing.
Freaking
that's what
and
I
then
do.
you enter the numbers. Boom! It spits out a label, and you're
I
done.
tape the label on. I drop it off at the UPS store.
Yep.
They don't ask any questions.
Yes. We've got like a
that's-
our place is called Box Monkey. It's just like a drop off place. They do FedEx, UPS, Postal Service, and so I do all mine through UPS and just drop it off at that place. And same, Troy, they don't ask anything.
I bet you cut that $12 shipping in at least half going through Pirate Ship.
Really?
True.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I've been doing for my samples, I just put those in like a padded envelope, for like tonight. I still haven't done the drawing yet, but like tonight's Patreon sample giveaway. So it's 3 2-ounce bottles. They fit in an envelope, and I just print out the shipping at home off of the USPS website, USPS. And I just put that in the mailbox with the flag up, and then that way I don't even have to go to the thing. But for a bigger box, I would definitely have to, take that somewhere.
Yeah. I want to get. I think our next glass is. Have you seen Myron's?
No.
He's got the ones. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like it's like a Glen, but it doesn't get like rounded at the bottom. It's like it goes way out like this, and then it's got like a flat bottom.
Yeah, it kind of flares out.
I've seen those.
Yes, and then like a real flat bottom on them, and it's really nicely. I just saw it in his Penelope video today, and I was like, ooh. I might want to get those next. They're really nice. I like they're real classy looking. They're really nice.
Yeah,
glass.
when he first got those, they made the logo too small, and he hated them. And he was selling those for like $6 a piece shipped.
You know what? It's funny because I was looking at the video today. Go watch his Penelope cigar video. I was like, that logo looks really small. It's probably one of the ones they made the logo too small
Yeah.
on.
I listened to that episode today. I didn't watch it. I listened to it while I was driving home today.
I would like to find that bottle. I don't smoke cigars, but I haven't disliked the Penelope, so I would really like to find that one.
Yeah, I would like to find that too. I haven't had a ton of experience with Penelope, and I like their original ones, like the Architect and the Barrel Strength and Toasted and whatever. They were good, but they were just good bourbons, but nothing fancy. The Weeder, I was super disappointed. I know you were too,
Yeah.
Brian. Troy, did you guys do that one?
I'm sorry, what was the whiskey?
The
Penelope
Penelope
Weeder.
Weeded.
I've only had a sample of Penelope Weeded.
Yeah, I didn't. I was
It was
just
not
like,
blown away.
yeah. So Troy, did you try those Minnesota ones I sent you yet?
I haven't tried them yet. They're in our Poor Guesses box.
And did you guys win those off of the Patreon drawing?
Yes, we won the
Okay.
two Minnesotas. It was a bourbon and rye, and then there was like a discontinued Old Granddad.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're talking
And
about the
Brian,
Jake Arbor one, right, Ben?
Yeah, and I sent you guys those.
Yeah, those are in mystery boxes for us too, so we'll pull them on Patreon eventually.
Okay. See, I always do reviews of samples just because it's if I can get a review off of a sample, it's A, I get to review this bourbon that I don't have, and B, then I don't have to go out and buy the damn thing to do a review of. Like, if I got a whiskey in my possession, I'll be damned if I'm not getting content out of it. Oh, and so Brian, I've been meaning to ask you in particular, Troy. I don't know if you're as big a fan as Brian is of the Woodford Reserve Double Oak. Mm-hmm. But I did a review of that, and I put that out, and I mentioned in the video a kind of unorthodox tasting note that I get off of that, mostly in nosing. I don't know if you've seen that video, but I want you guys
I've
to.
not watched that one yet.
If you have a Woodford Double Oak, and if you have a bottle of Worcestershire sauce in your fridge, it's interesting, but like I've always, since the first time I had Woodford Double Oak, I get that sort of a note off of it. And one of the main things I get from the Double Oak and from like Old Forester products too, like the 1910, is like a heavy molasses note and a little astringency. And I looked at the Worcestershire bottle, and like the first two ingredients, vinegar and molasses.
Huh.
And I was like, oh, well, maybe that makes sense. It's just kind of like that molasses and slightly vinegary. And if you nose the Worcestershire, there's a bit of a sweetness to it as well. So it's kind of weird.
So this one to me, this is a store pick too, so it's not necessarily the same as the one you have, but
The one I did was a store pick as well.
Oh, was it?
$57. Yeah.
so this
I usually get like a sweaty gym sock off of Woodford Double Oak.
Wow.
On the
I
nose.
get like
Shots fired.
I do get some molasses, but for me, it's like sticking your face in like a bin of or like a container of brown sugar. Like I get a
Oh,
very
that's right.
strong brown sugar.
You're talking about Marie Ann's brown sugar bin?
Yes.
Remember that video when you said that on the...
Yes.
Do you remember I sent you I made a picture of like a pimp with your face on it. It said brown sugar bin hound. Because you said, I don't know if you guys saw this, it was a video a long time ago, and Lauren's reaction to it was just so immediate. You were talking to Marie Ann off camera. It's like when I stick my face in your brown sugar bin, and immediate Lauren just goes, "What? Oh God!"
Lauren's mind pretty much always goes there. So
You guys are low key the dirtiest whiskey tube channel.
it's all the
there's
ladies.
always
I'm the straight man. The ladies are like
Sure, blame it on the girl. I mean, I would say they are definitely from an outside perspective, they're the perverts of the channel for sure. So real quick before we get into the Patreon drawing here, question for both of you on the same subject. Troy, have you had Pendleton Midnight? And
Yes.
Brian, where are you at with doing your independent review of Pendleton Midnight? And
It's sitting
Troy,
over
what do you
there.
think of Pendleton Midnight?
I mean, we weren't big fans of it. I think, we got it initially thinking it was going to be, just like a crushable, easy sipper, and not big fans. I mean, it wasn't offensive or anything. It just wasn't anything great. We got a bottle of it. We probably drank 2 or 3 pours out of it, and then I think it sat on the shelf for over 2 years before we went back to it. So it's not memorable.
So would you say it's one of your favorite warm-up pours?
I would not say that, no. I could see it falling into that category, though, if you would remember that you had it. It's just not memorable. It's not something you're going to reach for.
We know somebody who thinks it's one of the best.
Oh, I
warm-up.
know. Bobby's gaga over that thing.
And I don't know if you saw my review of it, Troy, because I got a mini bottle on Bobby's recommendation.
Oh, I saw it.
Yeah, I said I would sue Bobby for $32 if I had paid for the full bottle. So,
Didn't your
because
thumbnail say like "What the hell, Bobby" or something?
yeah, it's a
think
WTF Bobby and it had a picture of him.
I think that bottle may have been in our last trip to the recycle bin video.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
And I shared my feelings on it then.
Yeah, I find it offensive. Like, I feel personally attacked every time I drink it. Every time I've had it. It's just like, oh, good God. And I don't feel personally attacked by the whiskey. I feel personally attacked by Bobby. Every time I drink it. It's like I'm being hit with an axe every time I take a sip of it.
Are you
No,
guys
so-
drinking it tomorrow night? Is that
I have
part
no
of your-
idea. I thought I don't know because so we're all over the board with this whole thing. Did somebody just pop in here? Is this Bobby showing up to?
Defend Pendleton.
Oh my God! Perfect timing. It's Bobby.
Here to defend the indefensible.
What
From
did I
Bad
run
Axe
myself
Bourbon.
into here?
Just when we start trashing him, he shows up. Bobby, how much of the
Oh
last
my
3
God.
minutes have you heard?
Come on. That's fun.
That is like in all of live stream history, that is maybe the best timing of all. That's right up there with when somebody made that comment, Brian, about we were talking about negative comments and somebody said they got trashed for wearing a polo shirt with a baseball hat, and Sean was on wearing a polo shirt and a baseball hat.
Yep.
Oh man, you
Like
guys
my
know.
summer uniform.
You guys know
What's
what I got
going
trashed
on?
For, not liking Uncle Nearest.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen,
Dude,
man.
I'm like,
That
It's worse than being called out for wearing a polo and a baseball cap.
Dude, I'm like,
Yeah.
it's not good. It's not even. That's not even like a bad take at all. A lot of people don't like it at the shelf level. I'm like, dude, give me something better. I haven't had the right.
See, I don't mind it at the shelf level, but to say what that guy said is ridiculous. Did you want to
Dude, it was
share
crazy.
that?
What's that?
Or do you want to share that? Talk
Yeah.
about.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I basically. Hold up.
If your last name starts with Gonzalez or Bacon, you owe me signatures.
Anyway, training. So basically, it wasn't the last video. Actually, that video was so long ago. Anyway, it was Uncle Nearest, and I didn't like either one of them. They were both Uncle Nearest, right? It was this, not that. And I said, really don't like either one of these. They taste like Jack Daniels to me, and duh, right? They're blind to. The other thing is, these are blind. I don't even know what they are, right? So basically, this simple comment, this guy goes, well, you probably don't owe it. You probably just don't like it because it's black owned. I'm like, what?
That's
I want
that's so dumb.
what?
So
Dude, the comments I made, I didn't even know what they were. It's so
that's so
stupid.
like, how do you just jump from I don't like this whiskey to the only reason you don't like it is because it's black owned? That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Isn't it also female owned or a female distiller?
I believe
It
it is.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, there
Yeah,
you
and
go.
it actually-
You didn't even really get
The
to root.
story-
That's it.
Yeah. He's like, dude, I don't mind it that it's black owned. I hate that it's woman owned.
yeah. It just can't be both. One or the other.
Yeah. No, that the story of that distillery is actually great. Fawn Weaver.
It is.
She's
It is a cool
she's
story.
awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, I like it. I like the story, and I even said in another comment. To be fair, I've never had the rye, and I haven't had this single barrel or cask strength. I said I'd love to try them because people say they're really good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
two of the
And that was
barrels-
it.
The 2 single barrels I've had have both been bangers. I mean,
Dude,
really good.
Yeah.
I believe it. And,
I've
and
had
I
one that
also
was
said-
a monster.
I also said that, I like Jack Daniel's single barrel strength, and
Yeah. Oh,
that's
yeah.
great. So if it's anything like that, I probably love it, and the rye too.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's anything like those, I'll
Yeah.
probably like them. I even said that shit. I'm like, it was so stupid, dude.
Yeah.
It doesn't
You know
always
what?
matter what you actually say in your videos. People like to fast forward, which I get. I don't care if you fast forward, but then to comment on it, it's like if you're gonna
Yeah.
comment so strongly on something, maybe watch the whole video
Dude, I
first.
was like,
Not that they were gonna find out in the course of your video if you hated this because it was black owned, but I mean, like, I'm talking like general comments, not that
Yeah.
one in particular.
yeah, right. It was.
But yeah, that sucks when people do stuff like that. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't mind like insulting comments or, this
I'm like,
guy's a
dude.
dipshit and he doesn't know anything
Yeah.
about whiskey and his videos suck. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. You make some good points. But stuff like that, it's like, come on, man.
Oh, you
You know,
should have
say
seen some of the
loud-
comments on the day drinking short that we were talking about
Oh
earlier.
my gosh, dude! I'm
Like
sure.
how many people called me an alcoholic, or there were people that actually prayed for me. They quoted scripture in the comments. I mean, it's crazy. It's like, this is entertainment, people. I'm not actually drunk in the middle of the day.
And even if you
Calling
are, who
neighbors
gives
to
a
come join
shit?
me.
Dude, you know what's funny? I'll put, you guys.
I thought this was America.
like Brian, you're on the East Coast. You can't get much farther away from me than you,
Yeah.
right? Dude, I put these videos I put out. I put them out like at 5 o'clock in the morning here. People are like, oh my gosh, you drink. I'm like, dude, are you seriously? This video is from a few days ago, and it's 8 o'clock on the East Coast. Of course they're drinking. No one drinks at 5.
Yeah, on the East Coast, of course they're drinking. Why wouldn't they be?
But it's like, dude, when am I
Absolutely.
supposed to get this out? Come on.
So do they honestly think that you just filmed this video 5 minutes ago and then put
Dude,
it out?
Sometimes on the Payday Pour stuff, I'm like, dude, I know people they have limited time during the day. It's there for you to watch it whenever you can watch it during the day.
Yeah.
It's not, I'm not encouraging you to, hey, dude, hey, get some pancakes and bourbon. Let's go do it. I mean, come on.
Well, and then
Which is
Troy,
safe
for
to
years,
say it.
that was clearly satire.
Yes.
Did they really think that you were out in your backyard clanking bottles together to
And your neighbors were like,
Oh,
to
dude.
draw in?
let's go day drink.
Dude, we got what we gotta do? We gotta make breakfast as we're sipping bourbon. That would be incredible. People
Yeah.
would freak out, even if it's like at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They don't know that. Just the fact
I
that you're
did-
making breakfast while you're drinking bourbon, people will freak out.
Oh yeah.
By the way, what is the older I get, what's wrong with day drinking on a Saturday if you've got nothing to do?
If that's when I've got
Nothing.
time to do it, then
Sounds
mean,
like the greatest
well, like-
Saturday ever.
Yeah, my wife and I, we would rather sit out in the brown tree or out on the porch and have a few drinks during the day and do some grilling and go to bed at 8 o'clock at night
yeah, right.
and then wake up. We like to go to bed early, go to 8, 9 o'clock at night, and then you wake up early feeling great.
As long as you get your bubble
like-
bath in before then.
That's right.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, the bubble bath starts before, yeah, because you got to work in time for that. This is post-bubble bath at 9 o'clock for sure. Yeah,
So-
absolutely.
Thomas Anderson said he doesn't. Uncle Nearest isn't that great, so you have a fellow traveler there, Bobby. But I like
He's not even a
Thomas
point.
Anderson. I wonder if you've tried a pick like a single barrel, because I'm telling you, man, they are nothing like the Shelvers. They are really.
I've had
really
one,
good.
and it was a monster. It was so
Yeah.
good.
I mean, so they're
Same
hot.
with,
They drink real hot, but they're really good.
Dude, I'm open for that for sure.
Same with Heaven's Door has got some monster single barrels,
Yeah.
and those come from all different distilleries, so you never really know unless you're looking at the mash bill. You don't really know what you're gonna get. But
Right.
the Heaven's Door single barrels that I've had have been fantastic.
Okay, let's
but
get
I
back to this.
suggested.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I'll say, let's go back to you. You were shit talking me. What's going on? What was the shit talking going about? How did I just
Did
went
you
off
did
to-
you not hear it when you were?
No. I
Oh,
didn't hear it.
well, we got onto Pendleton Midnight because.
Oh, there we go.
I was saying before we get into the raffle here, I asked Brian, I said, where are you on your independent review of Pendleton Midnight before we do any tasting with it, and asked Troy if he's personally had it. And then we got to talking about how you recommended it, and I said, hey, there she
Hey,
is.
Laura. What's up?
Hey, Laura. And I will say, I never said
Say
there
hi,
was this
everybody.
big
Hello.
freaking barn burner. And I only said it because you said it's better than Basil Hayden and Jack Daniels Old Number 7. That's the real question. That's what we're trying to
I
find
said
out.
it's worse than.
We're gonna switch
You
over
said
our
it.
ears.
Yes, you said it's
Okay.
worse than. Yes. Thank you for the correction. Yes, you
Yes.
said that. I'm like, that is so off base, dude. I don't even
But no,
know
I
Basil
said
Hayden or Jack Daniels, or which one's better than the other one. They're both terrible.
I said Troy had said that he didn't like Pendleton Midnight, but he didn't find it offensive. And I said I felt personally attacked. I said I find it offensive. I said I feel like I'm being personally attacked every time I drink it. And I said I don't feel like I'm being attacked by the whiskey. I said I feel like I'm being literally personally attacked by Bobby every time I take a sip. I said it's like every time I take a sip of Pendleton Midnight, it's like someone's swinging an axe at me.
Oh my god!
And then immediately you popped onto the screen. Laura, how are you doing?
Great. Just got home.
Good. It's good to see you. I'm glad you got to hop on here.
She put in a full day at the hospital, so
Oh boy.
So you're ready for a pour of whiskey, then I'm sure.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Pour whiskey?
have some whiskey.
I don't know that I'd call that a pour,
Oh,
but
I've
Mr.
been
R.
sipping on it.
there's like a
What are you
drop of
drinking?
whiskey.
Oh.
Okay, so
is
now
that the
now
new-
that Laura's
the new,
here,
the new one, like this
That's
year's?
the new one, 2025.
Nice.
is that the Heroes Edition or whatever it is?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
I've never had one of those. Are those better than the regular Shelfer?
way better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now is it way better for real, or is this like a Wild Turkey 70th anniversary better?
Okay,
Well,
well,
I
we think
mean,
that one's way better.
99% of the world thinks it's way better, and then there's your trash palette.
There we go. That's that.
Man, I'm going to tell you right now, today's video, we did our Wild Turkey, like, super flight. I would never
Yeah.
buy regular Wild Turkey 101 again. Never.
Really? I saw on Patreon that was coming out.
Oof.
But I didn't watch the early one. Okay, so now that Laura's here, I got to replay that video clip
Oh,
Oh,
excited.
yeah.
that I played earlier. Hold on a second, because this is especially pertinent for Laura. So this is from nothing to be scared of.
I'm a little nervous.
So I had to edit together two clips here, but this is from 2023. It was St. Patty's Day, and Greg and I were doing a live stream, and then we talked about this. Here we go. Question. So, we recently got to know Bourbon School because I can't remember how we found their channel, or if they found us or commented, or I can't remember how that worked.
No,
but it's
that's-
awesome whenever
impossible to say.
you discover a new channel that you like. Do any of you have any new channels that you're watching that are maybe, it doesn't matter how big they are, but the bigger they are, the more likely people will know them. Like, do you have any that maybe other people don't know about yet, or drop them in the comments. Brian, I literally was just gonna say I was just watching Baker Drinks today. She's got a great channel. I really like her. So go subscribe to Baker Drinks.
I have not seen that one.
Yeah, she does a good job. And then Mediocre Whiskey Review.
Jill from Mediocre
Yep,
Whiskey
she does a
Reviews.
good job.
She's just starting out, but doing a great job.
Mm-hmm.
What's the guy? Bourbon starts with D.
Oh, Bourbon Drop?
Drop.
Oh, yeah,
Is
yeah.
it Drop?
Yeah, Myron over at
Myron.
Bourbon Drop.
Yeah,
Yeah, we've
yeah,
talked
yeah.
about him before. So it's really a shout out to you, Laura, but I had to keep that in there. That was also like the first time we talked about Bourbon Drop.
Yeah, I
But that
remember
was-
that because then you linked it on
On Instagram.
The slow
Instagram,
talker.
and then I found you guys.
Yep, exactly. Because I remember because I always had the policy where I would always post this. If you get mentioned on the video, if you get mentioned on the channel, you get tagged on the gram. And then so I put that video clip up and I tagged you because I had started watching your channel and then I followed you on Instagram and then I tagged that. Yeah, and then you commented back on it. And that's how Bourbon's Jesus Christ, I almost said Bourbon School instead of Bourbon Note. I'm getting my own channel, one beer, and I'm getting my own channel mixed up with other people's. That's how the Bourbon Note got to know Baker Drinks and vice versa. Look at that, 2 years ago.
I
Well, 2.5
feel like
years
that's how
ago
we
now.
all got to know each other because
Yep.
we got to know Bobby through you guys.
Yep.
Brian and Lauren would comment back and forth with Laura.
Yep.
Myron came in. It's just the circle of influence in this community is amazing.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been a
really
a fun sort of building this like little ecosystem. I like that we kind of
Yeah.
have our
Yeah.
little
Core.
you know, core channels, and I always love like meeting new channels and stuff like that. And like I was saying before, Troy and Laura, you guys do a great job of that with your live streams, just like always having tons of guests on. And I'm learning about new channels through catching your live streams. I mean, a lot of times I don't see them when they're live, but I'll catch them on the the rebroadcast or whatever. I've seen that you've had on the barrel.
Oh yeah.
I was
Dustin and Caleb.
getting confused with Rare. Yeah, Dustin and Caleb. Yeah, they're awesome. They were a Minnesota channel, but now they're in Wisconsin. But I had them on as guests one time a while ago when I first started having guests on. They were one of the first ones. I think they might have been the first one after Greg left that I had on, trying to do something different than just me sitting here by myself. But yeah, they're a lot of fun. But yeah, like I've gotten to know new channels, through you guys. But then when I see other channels that I already know that, maybe aren't ones that I see all the time, it's like, oh, Troy and Laura know them too. That's cool.
Yeah, we were part of a really, really fun live stream with them on Whiskey Wisdom. It was a 80s theme live stream.
Yeah, I saw a clip of that when you were talking about what fast food restaurant you would describe
that
your
was
love
that
life
was the
as or
newlywed
whatever.
game that we played.
Yeah.
That was my
Yeah, and
least favorite
yeah.
part of the whole night. I was like, can we get this game over? Like, this is uncomfortable.
Yeah, I
that
can't
was
remember.
fun.
I don't know if it was a short that you guys put up or.
I think it was
I'm
Matt.
sure Matt from Whiskey Wisdom put that up.
Okay, yeah, it was. I can't remember who it was, but yeah, it was definitely one of you guys put that short up. I was like, oh, this looks like it was a fun time. When do you guys go on your cruise, by the way?
Christmas. 22nd of December or something like that.
Oh, so you're going to be on the ship over Christmas?
Yes.
Okay, so I was on that exact same ship on probably the exact same cruise you're doing, right before Christmas. And they do like a whole they got a big Christmas tree, and they'll do like a whole Christmas songs in the promenade and stuff like that. It was pretty fun. What else was I going to ask you guys before we get out of here? I know I had one more thing besides the pen. Okay, so Brian, are you doing a Pendleton Midnight independent review?
Yeah, I'll do it. We're gonna film next week, so we'll throw it in there and do it. I have not touched it yet. I've got 2 samples from Bobby that we haven't gotten into yet, so we'll get a review going and mercilessly attack Bobby for his love of this whiskey.
So because what I figured we would do is
Let me correct this. This is a good starter, and I never said it was awesome. And the real question is, and I put it in the chat, is it better than Jack Daniel's Old Number 7 and Basil Hayden? That's the real question, because Ben said, oh my gosh, I would drink either of these two over this. That's why it became a
Yes.
big deal.
I stand by that.
Yes. And I'm
So,
so
hey,
glad.
Marianne is
I'm
here.
so glad. Marianne, what is up?
How's it going?
So I can. I kind of figured what we would do is everybody does an independent review. We'll see how divided we are, and then put it to the test in a blind. So we're not tasting all those tomorrow night, right?
Not tonight.
Not tonight.
Not tomorrow.
No, tomorrow
No,
night.
next week.
When
We'll
next?
do it when Lauren's coming to film.
Oh, no.
No, I mean
Monday.
for the live tomorrow.
Pendleton midnight.
He said the live tomorrow.
Oh, they're doing it. They're drinking it on live tomorrow. We're not on live tomorrow.
No, I don't think we should do it because we want to do it all together in a blind after everyone's done their
That's
review.
fine. We can wait.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's fine. Well, shoot, they both have samples, so yeah, we can.
Yeah,
we can
yeah,
wait for
let's
sure.
wait.
Yeah, it's no big deal. We can
Maybe
talk
I'll love
about,
it
like
too
we
much.
said,
I'll
about
have to buy a bottle.
our starter whiskeys, and then we can do that later.
I'm going, but I saw Laura jump on, and I wanted to say hi to Troy and Laura. And hey, Bobby, what's happening? And Ben, how's my redheaded stallion?
I'm good.
Well,
Where's
hello.
hold on?
Thanks
Where's
for
the
You
saying
guys
music?
are red up here, so I'm going to go.
My God.
Good to see you.
Love it.
Dean and Dean Ween. Okay.
Bye, everybody.
All right. Bye. It's good to see you, Marianne. All right, I'm
Have
going
a
to get
good
into
one.
the Patreon giveaway. So tonight's Patreon, you're getting 3 samples of Elijah Craig small batch. They're all the same. There's nothing different about any of them.
3 different shelfers.
No. So, yeah, exactly. Bought at the exact same time from the same case.
Same
So,
laser
no.
code, everything.
Yep. So tomorrow's video is I bought a 3-pack of barrel aging spirals, and then I put them in here for 2 weeks. So this one is an American Oak Char Level 3 spiral. This is a toasted French oak, and this is Amberana. And so I did a video that comes out
That
tomorrow.
Amberana's been in too long.
Well, stay tuned for
Like an
that.
owl
Well, you
shot.
guys are on Patreon, so that video is already available to you. Oh no, actually it's not. No, tomorrow's video is Old Forester 117 series rye. Monday's video is this because I just filmed this today. I'm all out of sorts. Anyway, Monday's video is this, so you'll get a sample of all 3 of these, so you can compare the 3 barrel finishing staves and see what you think. So let me bring up the shared screen. Okay. Is that on there?
No.
God, you
So
think I
while
would learn how to do this after a
boomering
while?
it.
There we go.
Bobby, did
What were you
know-
say, Brian?
I said, while Ben is boomering this, I was going to fill the time. Bobby, did you know that you are the very first live stream I ever went on?
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got some
And
trivial
you were
pursuit knowledge.
you were very gentle and caring for my first time.
Hey, kid glove, velvet gloves.
Don't let the mustache fool you. Bobby is a gentle lover.
See?
All right, can you guys all see this?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so hold on a second. Troy and Laura won last time, so I got to take them off of here
Yeah,
because
was
I
gonna
am
say,
going.
I thought you were doing the once you win, you're removed thing.
Yeah, I am. And well, I'm doing that until I cycle through all of them, and then I'll go back to just doing it,
What did we win?
It was a couple Minnesota whiskeys, a bourbon and a rye, and a OGD that is discontinued.
Yeah, the OGD 86.
Yep. All right, let's do it. Let's see who is the winner of the samples.
I'm going to call it. It's going to be Bobby.
I know
Good.
it is, and then people are gonna do the
I mean,
hashtag rigged like they do.
Goes
Why
to
do I have
penalty.
blank
Nobody.
spots?
It's blank.
Nobody.
On my end, it says Bad Axe Bourbon.
Is that what it says? Let me repaste these in here. Why are there blank spots?
What?
Do you have blank spots up in your up there at all?
No, I
No.
don't have any. Look at that. It's all right. Well,
Yeah.
Well, hey,
Let's just
spin it again. See if it doesn't.
keep spinning it till we
Let
hit a
'em-
name.
Exactly. That's the fastest solution, right?
yeah. Mike Belland, the winner. All right. There we go. Mike, I will get a hold of you I think I've got Mike's number. I'll shoot him a text or a message on Patreon. So, samples of the Elijah Craig. This was actually a really interesting thing. I mean, I've done an experiment with one of these barrel staves before. This is a company out of Minnesota, too, that makes these, so that's kind of cool. Let me get this out
You
of
get them
here.
on Amazon? I wouldn't mind trying that with a few bottles.
You can get their basic American Oak one on Amazon, but I think you have to go, it's thebarrelmill.com. You
Okay.
can get, I think you can get the 3-pack. So these all came in one pack. It was like $15 or something. If you
Okay.
can't find it and you want to get one, just let me know and I'll grab one because they sell them locally here.
All right, cool.
So I will, I'll send them your way if you want to get them. Shredword is here. What's happening?
Shred. I haven't seen
All right.
Shred in a while.
Who have I missed? Picked up Pendleton 10-year bourbon on sale for $38. It's a nice, easy sipper at 90 proof. It's also
I heard
MGP,
the
so
10-year is
it's
good.
not, there's not going to be
great.
any influence. So you know what the thing is with the Pendleton Midnight, Bobby, that kills me about it? Is that it comes across as like, it's almost got like a new make flavor to it, like white whiskey. Like there's something about it. Like I would guess it's barely aged at all, but it says over 6 years, so I'm very confused. Like
6
that's
years
what I
in
don't like
Canada.
about it.
So it's Canadian
Yeah, that's-
whiskey. It's regular Pendleton, right? Aged 6 years and finished in brandy barrels at 90 proof. It's up 10 more proof than regular Pendleton too. And
Okay.
and I'll just say right now, I really don't like regular Pendleton. I just like that because it proofs a little bit higher and it's finished, so it's a little sweeter. So I like it as a starter because it's very inexpensive too.
And I haven't had any of the other Pendleton, so I've been sending you guys texts with like because the Minnesota Vikings have like a
Dude,
thing with Pendleton.
The irony.
Yeah, so I don't
is
actually
not
know
harsh
anything
enough.
about. Yeah, I don't actually know anything about the rest of their whiskey, so it might be decent. I don't know.
Has
but-
anybody
all right.
had the Pendleton 10-year?
No, actually.
No, there's a
That's
local
20
place.
year, right?
What's that, Troy?
That's what they were
The
just
Pendleton 10 years MGP though, so it's
Yes,
solid.
it is. It's 10-year
Yeah.
MGP and it's 90 proof, which I've heard people say they like it, but that kills it for me. For $50 for 90 proof MGP.
There's a 20-year at Costco too. They were selling for a while.
Oh,
Pendleton.
okay.
Yeah, we have that bottle.
We
Do you-
unfortunately have that bottle.
Very full.
See?
It's very
That's
Not
what I'm
good?
saying. I'm saying it's got to be.
It's
that
fine.
90 proof
It's-
and finished in brandy barrels is the only reason really
Yeah.
why I liked it.
Why do you put water in a 20-year-old whiskey?
Dude,
I-
great question.
Dude, why would
Well,
Crown
we-
Royal put apple flavor in a 23-year-old whiskey? That's the one that kills me.
That one kills me. You know, with the
Well,
water.
I'm sure
is
that
just to
whiskey was
make-
shit, and they're like, "This is old
Yeah.
whiskey. We can't do anything with it.
Yeah.
Let's add flavor."
Now it tastes like apples and trees.
And
It's
who's
like-
paying $230 for that?
They're out there, man. They're
Not
out
this
there.
guy.
For an apple flavored whiskey. Like I almost need to know what that tastes like.
Yeah.
Just to
Yeah.
I don't know. just to-
Shredward's saying he needs to get that new 9-year Remus. I've heard it's excellent.
Oh, it's so good.
I've
Oh
not
my
seen it
God.
in our area yet.
The what? New
I've got it here
1910.
somewhere. I don't know.
The 9-year Remus.
Oh yeah. Dave Vogelsang has it,
Yeah,
of course.
yeah.
the
this is
9-year
that,
Remus.
20
Yeah,
year
I've got it
Pendleton.
here somewhere, but I don't see it.
They came in a fancy box too, right?
No, but it is a really nice looking bottle.
80 proof.
No, the Pendleton came in like a gray box, right?
Yeah, I think so.
looks
Oh,
like
shit,
a crate.
I can't find it.
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
good though. We just reviewed it. It'll be out next week. It tastes like
Yeah,
it's
no smell.
something finished, but it's not. And it's just like light. It's got a real light touch. It's like a cigar blend. We called it like Joseph Magnus cigar blend light. Like it's got a real light touch, but it's super flavorful. I really liked it.
It's like Canadian whiskey flavored Kool-Aid.
It's like,
I don't know. That actually sounds
Alright.
kind of good.
I mean, it's really sweet, really easy to drink.
You're not going to pay $200 for it though.
No, God, no.
$200
Nope.
for this.
No, I think we paid like 160, 170 at Costco.
Okay, well that's still.
So is the Remus
It's
9-year? Is that brand new?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
it's
I feel
finished
like I've seen
in well, I like okay. So Laura and Troy,
Brian, I
you
think
guys-
I'm wearing the
you
same
guys
pants as you.
would know a little more than I do. It's not finished? Is it like it's put in these barrels that are like some whatever the cognac, like the company that makes barrels for cognac, is that like a secondary finish that they do with that? Because if it's just put in these French barrels, it can't be a bourbon, but it says bourbon on the bottle.
What bottle are you talking about?
That new Remus 9-year.
How does it
Yeah,
say?
we don't have it. It's not here yet.
Oh, okay.
Does it say
So hold
cognac?
on.
I've
Does it
heard it's
say-
excellent though.
Cognac finished bourbon? Is that what it says? Because if it
But
says it
see,
like
it's-
that, then you're saying it's not a bourbon, but saying it's a bourbon. It's a bourbon that they finished by not calling it a bourbon. You know how the,
Okay,
the labels go.
It's definitely a bourbon. It's 9-year bourbon. It says experimental series #1 bourbon, but they put it in these barrels, and this is what we couldn't find because they put them in these barrels. It's like some kind of French, like Seguin Moreau is the name of the barrel
aged
maker,
in,
and
though, not
they make
finished in.
barrels for cognac. And so I could not
Okay, so
find
that's like a
information
barrel
of
brand.
okay, if it's not an American oak, it can't be a bourbon, right?
It doesn't
No,
have to be
So-
American.
no, that's
No,
not-
that's not
true.
true. That's not true. It could be. It has to be oak.
Oh,
New charred
okay,
oak,
so that-
not
New
necessarily
charred oak.
American.
Yeah.
And
These are just
and
aged
this
in these
cooperage is in
French barrels.
California, so it could be any kind of oak. Honestly, it's in
Okay,
California.
okay.
It says new.
So then I was mistaken on that. But so it's aged in these Seguin Moreau barrels, and apparently this company, this Seguin Moreau, they make barrels in like they are like the barrel to get for cognac,
Didn't know that. I never heard of it.
and they're good.
Weird.
It's really
Yeah, as
good.
long as it's new charred oak, it can.
Okay. I guess I knew charred oak, and I guess in my mind I was putting American there, but I guess it really doesn't have to be American, does it?
That's weird that it doesn't even say what kind of barrel, just the brand of the company
Right.
that makes
Right.
the barrels.
It's like aged in Kelvin.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Okay.
So, and then this review I'm reading says, and this is what I could not find when we were reviewing it. It says it's finished in heavy toast cognac staves. So that, I guess that's why it's got like this kind of cigar blend kind of funk to it. I thought it was like a lighter version of like a Joseph Magnus. I thought it was great. I mean, and it's light enough where like you can, like those flavors seem heavy, but it's light enough where you could like throw a cube in it and drink it in the summer and it would be amazing because it's just like a real light touch. I really, really like it.
Brian likes a light, gentle touch.
That's right. That's why I was so happy to be on my first live stream with Bobby.
So go to the guy with the
Bobby's gentle touch.
And putting his nose in the brown sugar box.
Yeah, the brown sugar bin. Brown sugar bin hound.
Oh, I think I lost my bottle of Remus, guys. I
How is
can't
that
find
possible?
He drank it.
Yeah.
Isn't it your pick?
Oh, I lost it.
Yeah. I have that. We've talked about it before. I have that problem. I come down here, it's like, who the f- drank all this whiskey? Like, I'll go to a bottle, I'm like, what the hell? Where did. And it's legitimately becoming a thing because, like, I opened up this bottle of 80 proof Heaven Hill just to do like a funny short where I dumped it all out into a like little strainer or whatever, and then I poured it back in. I was like, there, the neck pore's gone, or some stupid video that I did just to be funny.
Yeah.
And then there's like, I don't know, a third of the bottle is gone. I was like, when the fuck did I come down and drink any of that? Like,
You
what
gotta be
night
careful
was I
doing
like?
that though, Ben? You might mix up the neck pour with the ass pour.
I know, and then who knows what happens? What if I get the middle pour, like get like a tit pour or something? Like,
You don't want the torso pour.
no, not at all.
I think
The dreaded groin pour.
I think Ben's sleep sipping. I think he's sleep sipping.
That's what I'm wondering.
It's
Like, did
coming
I
to
make
the
a
bathtub
cocktail
with
out of
him.
that? Or
Saturday night bubble bath.
when I'm in the bubble bath, I am not sipping 80 proof Heaven Hill. I guarantee you that.
Oh, that's
When I'm in the bubble bath, I have standards. All right, you don't think I'm pouring lavender and lighting candles to roll out the red carpet for some shit
I
like
was gonna
that? Hell
say,
no.
if you're lighting scented candles, you shouldn't be drinking anything good, because you're gonna ruin the smell of it.
It only adds to it. That's going to be my next video, is like scented candles and cast strength bangers.
Pairing candle and a whiskey pairings.
It'll be unique. I guarantee you'll be the only one that does it.
Yeah.
That sounds like a what do you call it? OnlyFans bourbon channel, whiskey channel.
There you go.
Well, I mean, I might have to, if this YouTube thing doesn't pan out,
We go do that to support your YouTube channel.
bourbon pairings with seasonally appropriate candles. The seasonally appropriate is important, Don't come at me with, pumpkin spice and apple cider in the middle of summer. You just cannot do that shit,
That's just silly.
Like clean linen and citrus or something like that.
Wix, oh, dude, there you go, Mr. Mom, new channel,
Yeah.
Wix and Sips, dude.
Wicks and sips. Who said that?
I like it, Mr. Mom. Dude,
Did you
that's
come up with that,
awesome.
Bobby?
No, it's Mr.
No,
Mom.
it's
dude.
Mr. Mom.
I'm looking at this.
Oh, there we go. New channel,
Easier.
Wicks and Sips, Mr. Mom. That's
I like it.
Dude,
that's brilliant.
that is
I'm gonna do
brilliant.
I'll do like a whole personality with it too. Have like a very soft tone and talk about the
That's right.
scented
so
candle.
so ASMR.
You'll
Wix
be
and
like,
Sips.
Yeah.
Dan in the office, just like
Then you can like
Serenity by Dan.
ASMR like cutting the wicks and stuff. Yeah.
Oh,
And light the
Okay.
match.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Yeah.
We got a whole channel. A whole channel.
Yeah.
You could have
The
yourself
bubble bath
sitting
note.
in the bathtub doing a review, and then you get the day drinking call and jumping
there
out
you
of
go.
the tub to come answer the call.
some strategically placed bubbles.
Dude.
I was gonna say I don't know if they'd allow that on YouTube.
We were talking earlier.
We're a
they're
rainbow
gonna, They're going to
ascot.
do follow-up videos answering
Yeah.
the call.
Love it.
Yeah, we want to get in on that 2 million view count that you guys got going on. So we're just gonna try to ride the coattails. So we were coming up with different ways. So I like your idea, Troy, of clipping yours and then putting like the response to it.
Oh yeah. And you could even do your own bottles and have like Greg pop over the fence. That'd be a great cameo.
Yeah, that would.
Yeah,
I just talked to Greg the other day, so I told him, I was like, you're going to have to appear in a cameo at some point, because one of the nights we were on here on a live stream, people were asking for proof of life, and it kind of devolved into people accusing me of killing Greg and burying him under my house so I could take over the channel. So
Ben in the bubble bath, Greg just peeking in the window.
yeah, there we go. That's perfect. Well, I mean, you guys know that there is, because you guys have had, what is it, Bubble Bath Bourbon,
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that channel?
Yeah.
We
I
used
know
to
that.
Sacramento.
I
joke.
never had them on.
He's out of Sacramento.
We used
I
to
believe.
joke about that, like when we first started the channel. Like people would say, "Well, yeah, you should just like jokingly, like, yeah, you should just sit in the bathtub and review bourbon." And then, like after Greg and I started the channel, I saw there was actually Bubble Bath Bourbon. I was like, "You have got to be shitting me!" Like I totally could have done this. Haven't you guys had him on, Troy and Laura?
No.
No, we've not had him on.
He's been on
I thought-
ADHD
I've been on with him.
Whiskeys.
I think he's been on with Independent Joe.
I've been
Oh,
on
I think
with
that's
him.
where I saw him.
I did a barrel pick with him about 4 years ago. It's like
Okay.
a group, the California Filmland Spirits, the
Midnight Madness pick. or
yes,
whatever.
Midnight.
Yeah, I
Madness,
remember
yeah.
that.
Yeah, he was one of us that was in on that, the California Dreamin' or whatever it was called.
And so he really is from Sacramento.
He's from Sac, yeah.
God, that would have been perfect for Greg to ask.
That's true,
You know,
you're right.
because are you from Sacramento? It would have been finally the one. If only
Yeah, right.
he watched our live streams. But yeah, I was very, very upset when I saw that. I was like, man, I could have done that this whole time. The Bubble Bath Bourbon. I still at some point may do that, but anyway, all right, we're running long here, so that's what she said. So we're gonna shut it down for the night. But before we go, what do you guys have coming up? Troy and
Bakers,
Laura?
go.
Okay, so we have our patron live tasting tomorrow. again, Brian and Ben, you were drawn and had to bail out for your Whiskey 6 live stream.
Yeah, that
Saturday
sucks.
night we have a fun live stream. Torp Hoddle, who's in the chat, his brother is a culinary chef who owns a hot sauce company, Sam's Sauce.
Oh, nice.
And he sent us a bunch of hot sauces. So we're gonna do a scorch and sip blind battle.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
That'll
We're
be a
going
fun
to-
one.
We're
Talk
gonna
about
do
trash palate.
progressively hotter sauces and randomly pull a sample out of our poor guess's box, and we're gonna blind battle and try to see what it is. So
you
My
gonna ask
wife
me
and
three
oldest-
questions?
We have tried some of the sauces though, and they are delicious.
they're fantastic.
So they actually taste good, which is wonderful because sometimes hot sauce just tastes like hot and gross.
Yeah.
But these actually taste
Yeah.
good, so it'll be fun.
Chris Jenkins, it's happening. My wife and oldest stepson are into hot sauces. Me, I like hot sauce, but I'm like, if you take a look at me, I like the level of heat exactly what you would expect I would like. Just by, you can figure it out. I like it. I like reasonable spice. Shred word.
Yeah.
AP Bakersfield. Sunday is going to be a rough one. Whiskey and hot sauce.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping after doing like the Reaper sauce,
Ooh.
we don't pull out hazmat.
Oh,
I think that's more what I'm worried about than the actual like eating of the.
Put some seatbelts in the bathroom the next day.
Well,
Oh my God.
I'm looking forward to that. If I don't see it, I probably won't see the live because we got grad parties that day, and these are going to be more drinking forward grad parties. So day drinking like sinners.
Nice.
Nice. So I if I show up in your
Loser.
your chat that night, it'll be drunk Ben showing up. So
We like drunk Ben.
yeah. So all right. Reasonable Spice, Ben's new name. If I was part of the Spice Girls, I would be Reasonable
Yeah,
Spice.
that would be your Spice Girls name, exactly.
Yeah, I like it.
Pathetic loser.
All right, Brian, what do you guys have coming up?
Oh, well, we just put out our wild turkey video today. Reviewed or blinded a bunch of wild turkey 101s, different ones. We'll do Whiskey 6 tomorrow. Marianne and I will not be there, but these two guys will, with Rick from DRC and
Sean.
Remus review next week, and then I don't know what else. We might throw a live stream in the next couple of weeks. Our live stream schedule is crazy, but now that it's going to be summer vacation in a couple of weeks, we might be able to do it a little more regularly. So that's about it.
Yeah, you guys can get drunk on a Wednesday now for the next 3 months.
Hells yeah.
Even during the day.
Yep. Oh,
In the
there'll be
morning
day
if you
drinking
want
happening
to.
this summer, out on the deck for sure.
I do want to do. I did suggest one night that we do like a live stream, but like a day drinking live stream one day.
Yes.
I think
I'm
that
in.
would be so much fun.
Yep.
Start at noon.
Like just pick a day, noon for us, so it'll be
Dude.
10 o'clock in the morning for you guys.
Dude, I've done
if,
that a
I'm,
couple
if I'm
we need
off
to
and don't
get,
have
like-
to work the next day, I'm down.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
However many channels you can fit on one screen, that's what we need to get. It needs to just
Yeah.
be drunken chaos.
Oh,
Yeah, I really think we should do this. Actually,
Yeah.
just pick a day and like do just a casual. We don't have to be a race to see who gets hammered first, but just do a casual day drinking, like a Saturday afternoon day drinking live stream.
Yes.
So,
right
all
on.
I mean,
right, we'll plan that at some point. Bobby, what do you have coming up?
I got Whiskey 6 tomorrow. I think that's it.
Tell me more.
Bottle shop stuff. Got barrel picks. I got probably about 5-6 barrel picks pending.
Nice.
And also the Whiskey 6 barrel pick part of that. It's we had David on last week before, right? I mean, we know about the
It's
other
going to be a
label.
monster.
It's going to be
it'll
incredible.
be a beast.
It's gonna be incredible. But other videos coming out, Patreon, Discord. Discord's bumping, dude. That Discord is fun, man. Once you get into Patreon, then you get the magic ticket to get over in Discord. That's where all the fun is, and there's not a lot happening on Patreon. Once you get into Patreon now, if you got Discord, everyone goes into that, and you just go off the hinges over in Discord.
I don't know what any of that shit is. I mean, I know what Patreon is, but how do you go into Patreon to get into Discord?
You don't have to, but that's normally how you if you're a Patreon member, then I'll have Discord. I'm sure. Do you guys have Discord?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, then you give them an invite to Discord, which is basically a server that has other channels. You can categorize stuff. There's just way more to do on Discord.
Are you putting like content up on Discord?
Yeah, I'll put stuff that I don't put up anywhere else, like behind the scenes stuff, and put it in different categories, like Wiki Chat, Barrel Picks. You can kind of put it in different sports. We'll have a sports channel. We got a fantasy football league that we started. We're everyone's in on, 12 people are in on that. We're gonna have a draft party at DRC's house or Rick's house. So
nice.
everyone that's can make it, we're gonna go have a draft party. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on that you don't see. You join Patreon and you get the invite to Discord from being a Patreon member. Then then the fun's had behind the scenes.
Troy and Laura, do you know anything about this sorcery of Discord?
I mean, we have a Discord. We don't do a ton with it because I really don't know how it works.
I didn't either. and I've had an account for like 5 years because my son made it for me. but now one of the guys, Bradley Booper, he's one of my. He'll be on tomorrow night in the Whiskey 6. He happens to be in like an AI startup, like how AI meets with other AI. So he's that guy. He made this whole thing in like 15 minutes. If you go into my Discord, there's so much stuff going on there. I'm like, I told him I would have still been watching the YouTube videos on how to do one of these things. I wouldn't be done watching the videos yet. And he's just like, it's all done. Hey, great. Looks great. Got the admins here. We got the. I'm like, yeah, you just got to tell me how to use it. But
I'll have to like solicit one of the kids to help me put together a Discord, apparently.
Just jump in there. Brian's been in it. Just jump in. It's basically.
Yeah, I'll have to go check it out.
Yeah,
so,
go check it out.
you guys' Patreon, Brian and Bobby in particular. So, I have the Patreon app that I'm signed into through the Bourbon Note, and I kind of screwed up early on with Patreon because I have some of my Patreon subscriptions are under just Ben, and then some of them are under the Bourbon Note. So you guys are one of the original ones that is under Ben.
So
and then like Troy and Laura's Patreon is under the Bourbon Note, and I'm logged in under the Bourbon Note so I can go on there as the creator and put my Patreon content up.
Okay.
So I can go directly from, my Patreon app, and I can go to Troy and Laura's, and I can go to any other Patreon.
Yes.
But your two, I have to log out and log back in under a different login to see.
You know what's funny? You say that?
Cancel them and re-sign
Yeah, just cancel and switch to the other account.
We did
I've been
that
meaning
too,
to do
'cause
that.
We had Laura signed up under some and me signed up under some, and we canceled a bunch and consolidated them under a channel.
Yeah.
Funny you say that, Ben, because yours is the only account that's separate from all the other ones that I subscribe to. That's weird you say that.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is. It's weird. It's always been that way. I don't know why. It just didn't get grouped in with all the other ones. I'm like, why not? I think yours the first Patreon that I joined, actually.
Nice. First Patreon, first piece of the table.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So
when Bobby's up there accepting the award for Best Bourbon Channel, don't forget
Splinter.
And you were also my first Patreons, and I will say you were also gentle.
Splinter and mustache.
Well, that's
we got 3 different splinters on our backboard here.
That one's big. That's a big one.
I've got 2 right there.
That's a big one. That's a big hump.
Bobby's axe hole spans the nation.
But does anybody have a Whiskey Wars flask?
We do.
Don't know. Is that Top Dog?
No, I didn't even know that was a thing.
I got one from Top Dog. It looks just like that with Bad Axe on it and with Top Dog on it.
Yep.
That's cool.
Top Dog.
Yeah, I
makes
don't
good
have that.
stuff, man.
Yes.
All right.
Okay. I got to roll.
Bye.
Ryan's in
All
trouble.
right. Yeah, we'll
Oh.
cancel it out. But thank you guys so much for joining and bailing me out of having to do this by myself. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun.
So Ben, I'll
All
join
right.
your
Cheers,
other
everybody
Patreon.
in the chat. Thank you, guys. Go, if for some odd reason you're not subscribed to these channels, go do that right away. Check out their Patreons. And we'll see you guys on the Whiskey 6 tomorrow. And hopefully the Bakers on an upcoming episode of Whiskey 6 soon. We've
Yes.
been trying to coordinate that.
Yes.
We
Will,
So,
would
I'll,
love to
look
come
out
back.
for
I'll
that.
text you. We've got 4 episodes coming up with empty slots, so you're going to be in one of them.
All right, can't wait.
Okay.
Awesome.
Sounds
All right. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
good. Cheers.
See you guys.